My name is Frank Appel. I'm the CEO of Deutsche Post DHL, and we are here at the Globe Forum because we are convinced that this is a very important effort where we exchange knowledge and innovations, how we can make a contribution to challenging challenges with the world faces. And the takeaway from that session is definitely that there's obviously a quite broad consistency between politicians, the business, and science, that there is not a question any longer that there is a global warming issue. Now how we can line up forces to really fix the problem. And the good news for all of us is I think the consumer and the customers will decide anyway, and they will in the next 10 years, as our study shows, where they would definitely demand much more green and carbon efficient products. And that will change the behavior of many people and many customers and companies.
What is from our study obvious is that there will be only, we will only be winners in other companies if we cope with that challenge. We will lose out if we have no smart products, no smart processes, services to meet the expectations of our customers. I think this is a very strong message from this exercise, that there is pressure from the consumer and the customer, because nothing else is better. I believe a market mechanism can tackle many issues, and I think the minister said that somehow as well, that we can get a framework. We need a level playing field, but at the end of the day, it's the entrepreneurs, it's major corporations, it's SME who have to find the answers. And the good news is only those who produce good products will succeed. The second is the economic gap. There is a fear in that group that the gap between rich and poor people will widen again. So I think we have to cope with that as well, and therefore we have to invest in particular in education. Nothing drives wealth more than education. So I think we all have together to do something. We should not wait only for the government. We have done something here. There's an idea, Teach for Americas, it's called in UK, Teach First. It's also now launched in Germany, where high profile, high potentials from university work in schools after their degree, before they join the government or consultancy companies or corporate organizations. They work as teacher in areas where underprivileged people live. We have it even in the developed countries. We have places where you have no future even with 10 years, only when you are only 10 years old. So, and what you have to change is that they get better education, and you get only better education if you have the best talents. So the idea of that model is that you invest in the best people, bring them to these schools, and then these people who are underprivileged, these children get better education. So I think this is one example which we as a company can globally roll out. And we are talking to Teach for All, which is the initiative around the world. We are talking to them because we are present in all countries. And I always tell my managers, our people, we should do something about that, because if we do something for the children of our employees, and we have more than 500,000 employees around the world, if we do something for their children, it's the best investment in the motivation and the engagement and the loyalty of our employees. And therefore, we will do something. We have just started that, 9 months ago, but we will roll that out, because if we do something which helps our employees and their children even more than themselves, we will make a difference with regard to education. So that's the reason why we are engaged there, and I think that's our joint obligation, that we not just accept that there is a risk that the difference between rich and poor countries, or rich and poor people in some countries, increases again.
On the phone, we talked about legislation, you and I, and you said legislation will lead us nowhere. Okay. Could you elaborate very short on that?
No, I said, I think I didn't make it such a bold statement. I said, legislation is, we need a frame where we have a level playing field, but it's our job as entrepreneurs to really drive the change. We have to create new products, and the good news is that customers will push us in that direction anyway. If we do it voluntarily or as a threat, consumers will decide, and that is why I'm so optimistic. This is a chance. We have a threat now, but let's turn it into a chance, and then we will be successful in coping with that.